Man, C. Scott, welcome back to this week's edition of Coffee Grind. Now today, on this episode, we're going to be talking with Princess Booker. She's an author, also a financial advisor. We're going to be talking about one of her latest books that's coming out, It's going to be called The Chronicles of She. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that's in there. We're going to be talking about, there's a few things I want you to, take a notebook, listen to, and key in on, all right? Those things are going to be The Secret and Law of Attraction. We're also going to be talking about when to quiet yourself down, get still, and take action steps based off of what you're hearing, even when you don't know how that path is going to lay out, all right? And we're also going to be talking about the POW method, okay? So, I want to warn you ahead of time. This week was all types of audio issues, so you're going to have to really listen in close. We come to find out after we got done recording that one of the mics were cut by the chair that we were at. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but it's worth it to listen to this. So grab a notebook, grab yourself some good ass coffee, and get ready for this week's edition of Coffee Grind.
Take 85. Here we go. So anyways, thanks for agreeing to do this, or we finally got the calendars to sync up.
Yes.
The timing, it's all about timing. I know we'll probably get to talking about that.
Yes, definitely.
Sometime during this talk, but it's all about timing. It's all about making sure that everything works out right. But after a year or so, tweak it around. We got it to work.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of we've known each other for let's just say all our lives.
All our
we'll
lives.
just put it
Yeah,
like that.
all our lives.
And then your great grandparents were my godparents.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things. It was crazy. It's like, I didn't think about it. I was like, yeah, that is right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we grew up in the same church together.
Same church.
St. Andrew, shout out. St. Andrew's A&Me at the beach.
A&Me at the beach.
But yeah, so and it's funny that our paths have come back aligned together. So with all that said, that's the backstory on,
I used to
on
get
everything.
the butterscotch from your
The Mary Janes,
Yeah.
the butterscotch Mary Janes,
Yeah.
We used to from my granddad.
Yeah, I miss those.
Yeah, so he had the Mary Janes. My granddad, Mr. Kirkland, loved the Mary Janes. Yep.
And that green.
Yep. So so that's an extra backstory for you all. But yeah, that was. I forgot about that too. So.
Yeah, Mary Jane.
Shout out to Mary Jane. Not that Mary Jane. The candy Mary Jane. Anyway.
Yeah.
The candy Mary Jane.
Candy Mary Jane.
But yeah, it's funny how our purpose, our paths have kind of realigned to, we're both kind of chatting about purpose. But go ahead and let's get into that first.
Yes.
Let's get into that first. So let's start with, so you got a book that's coming out.
Yes.
Okay. So what's going on?
The Chronicles of She.
Okay.
She is an acronym, Surviving Humility Through Empowerment.
Okay.
And it's an autobiography. I tell my story from various childhood experiences to a lot of things that led to where I am today as an adult.
Okay, gotcha. So you're working on that. And then I was able to, via the interwebs, catch your speech that you had. So you just spoke at, it was a women's conference? Right?
Yes, Woman Unleashed on November 30th.
Woman Unleashed, there you go. And so you were talking about purpose and you can go ahead and talk about that for a little bit, but let's, you can just, just whatever you want to talk about with that, but also like kind of how the book, the women's seminar, how that all came to be, because I see that you're doing a lot of stuff on social media.
Yes, I am.
And you got a lot of things that are kind of flowing.
Yes.
It looks like because you got something that you're going to tonight as well.
Champagne for Change.
Yeah, so you got that. So you got that a bit. So you're doing a lot. So if you can kind of just maybe just kind of guide us through that process.
How it got there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will have to say that it started in everything kind of came to an understanding in early 2004.
Okay.
Actually, wait a minute, 2004, 2005.
Okay.
And someone gave me a book. It was called The Secret.
Okay.
Wanda Byers.
Okay. Yep.
And if you are familiar with the Secret, is
I
the
think
law of
anybody watching
attraction.
this probably is.
The law of attraction. And just to tell a little bit about my life, I was in a place where I was going nowhere and nowhere fast. And I had a lot of excuses, like most people do. I had a lot of excuses why I was not, excelling or why my life was the way it was. And the guy I was dating at the time, he was like, "Princess, how long you want to stay in this place?"
Okay.
So he gave me the book, and I didn't want to read the book. If I'm reading this,
Yeah,
and I remember seeing Rhonda Byers on Oprah
Okay. Gotcha.
talking about the law of attraction, and so I was like, reading that. But I had DirecTV, and so back then Netflix was partnering with DirecTV, so before they got their own channel or whatever. And so as I was going through Netflix through DirecTV, I came across The Secret.
Gotcha. It showed up.
Yeah, it showed up. So I watched the video versus reading the book. So I watched the video first, and Bob Proctor, his message stood out for me.
Right.
So I was in debt. My credit score at the time, my lowest score was 325.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so 3 children with a credit score at 325, going nowhere fast.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that. I mean, it happens.
And I always wanted to go back to school, put myself back through school. So I started to take those principles that Bob Proctor was speaking about, writing things down. So when you're in church, you always hear people always say, write the vision, make it plain. So how do you do that? We write things down every day. But the teachings in the Secret kind of gave me a guide as to how to get these things out on paper. So I started out thinking, okay, I want to do my credit, so I want better credit. I want a job, a better career. I want to go back to school and things like that. So I wrote those things down, and I actually went to the library and printed out the check.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he said, think of an amount that's like far out of your reach. And you know what I wrote down? $10,000.
Okay.
So $10,000 at that time was far out of my reach.
Yeah, for some people that's a stretch.
That's a stretch. It was a stretch for me at that time. So, needless to say, long story short, I ended up going back to school. I actually, a life situation happened which propelled me to move to Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay.
And I moved to Rhode Island with myself and my 3 children, plus 1 additional. That wasn't mine.
Gotcha.
So I moved to Rhode Island, and I landed a job at Brown University.
Okay.
And I started at Brown University. I was making like $10.50 an hour.
Okay.
And as a receptionist.
Okay.
My mentors were my supervisor, her supervisors, and they were all women.
Okay.
And they were glass ceiling breakers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Gotta have some of those.
Glass ceiling breakers.
Yeah.
I mean, these women were like kick butt.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I felt challenged. I felt out of place, because now I'm at an Ivy League institution and I'm around world-renowned doctors and all these fascinating people, and here I am, just a little old princess, And so, most importantly, I learned what credit was.
Okay.
By them teaching me.
Right.
I learned how important it was for family, for generations. And I also learned different etiquette, social mannerisms.
Okay.
So they were teaching me things, and I would take it back home and bring it to my children.
Okay.
And found a program that enhanced the school, and then that I had $10,000. My credit score was raised. I got the career that I wanted. And, everything came to fruition. So now I have this money. I'm making really good money now.
Okay.
And I had no money management skills.
Okay. So you were able to make it, but
Yeah.
not where to put it, what
Where
to do with
right,
it.
you
Yeah.
know?
It's like, boom, here you go. Have fun with that.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did what a lot of young people do at the time, especially when you are in, I don't want to say, well, I can't say an impoverished mindset. So I blew it all.
Right.
I blew it on friends.
Yeah.
I blew it on emotional shopping. I blew it.
Right.
And I ended up losing, a lot. And so, but social norms. You got to keep up the facade. You got to keep your head up. You got to keep walking. Kind of, just dress it all up, even though you have nothing.
Right.
You know, and I did that. I played that game for a lot of years, and then I lost my mom. And I lost my mom 3 years ago.
I was about to say that. Pretty recent.
3 years ago, and that's when the bow broke.
Right.
And so I've always been, when I started the path of the law of attraction, I always focused on meditation, self-healing, things of that nature. But when you have something like that emotional, you're kind of like taken out of it, especially when you're not surrounded by the right energy.
Right.
And so I put myself in a place of isolation with my children. I took us to Alabama, Birmingham.
Yep.
And I love Birmingham, by the way, okay? I don't care what nobody say. I love Birmingham. I love the serene of the city.
Shout out Birmingham.
Yeah, shout out Birmingham. So took us to Birmingham, and the partner I was with at the time, he was really big on the law of attraction as well.
Okay.
And so I put myself into an isolated meditative state on a regular basis, daily basis. And I'll say around 2017, there was a renewing of the mind process. So all those practices that I learned in the law of attraction, all those things that I'd gone through, all those things that I learned through my mentor and things of that nature, kind of all went together. So it was all purpose. You know, so I started to understand really the statement, nothing happens by chance.
Right.
And in life, when you like fighting against what God, the universe, or whatever, when you're fighting against it, you're causing a lot of imbalance. So a lot of things that happened in my life, I paused because I was out of line.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's what I always say. Y'all seen my Instagram, though? Yeah, the line. That's the first part. You got a line up and you got a line in there.
Yeah.
But just to, okay, so let's take a quick step back.
Okay.
When you were talking about the spending habits that you had. One of the things that Jim Rohn said, I was listening to him doing some work out in the yard the other day, and he was, I think he always said this, but I think he was one to kind of coin the phrase. He's like, if somebody walks up to you and gives you $1 million, you better become a millionaire real fast. Because if not, you're gonna think like a thousandaire. You're just gonna make it rain and it's gonna go away. So I think that's that's kind of what you experienced. And got you. So through that whole process, removing, you're learning about law of attraction, learning about, aligning with your purpose and everything. So you moved to Birmingham, then you moved, so what I don't want you to give away the whole book, because you gotta have to read the book when it comes out next year. But so what's some of the other key nuggets that you kind of learned through that whole process?
Well, I'll tell you this: the book really goes into a detailed description of 3 things, and I coined this phrase POW. Okay. And that's an acronym as well: purpose, obligation, and worthiness.
Okay. How?
I ain't face.
I'm gonna try to get one of those Batman pals.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I learned that I attached myself to a lot of false obligations. Once I got to a place in my life where I was financially comfortable, I started to conform to what other people thought of me.
Okay.
So what my mom wanted me to be, what my children wanted me to be, what my teachers wanted me to be, what my mentors and what my job wanted me to be, what my peers wanted, and I lost myself in all of that.
Right.
So obligation is the first step. It's recognizing what's true to you and what's opposite of you.
Right.
And that was in that meditative state in Birmingham. That's when everything started to come to fruition for me. It started to say, Princess, this does not belong to you. This is not a part of you. These things that you attach yourself to.
Right. Okay.
So then.
So let's hold on for 1 second. Yeah. You dropping nuggets.
Okay.
You dropping nuggets, y'all. And you just want to just skate past it.
Yeah. All right.
You just want to just skate past it real quick. No, we gonna stay there. Now we got to come back to this closer to when the book drops. If you want to talk first, that's fine. But so the one thing, so you said, so you've attached yourself. Say that again.
I attached myself to a lot of things that
didn't belong to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. Okay. So you had a lot of things that, I guess you could say, kind of like you thought that social narrative or whatever, that you had to be this.
I had to be this.
Gotcha.
I had to be this type of mom. I had to be this type of daughter. I had to be this type of employee. I was never myself in those years. And the most part of my life when I was myself, it was out when I'm by myself. And that's a lonely place to be.
Yeah, but that's a key, in my opinion, that's a key part of the journey.
Yeah.
You gotta have that. Because if you don't take that time, even if you're not by yourself, but if you don't take that time to yourself, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, is going to make that happen.
Make it happen. And it's going to push you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you know you're being pushed or not. Right. Like when I made the decision to move to Alabama, it was, it was just like I had this feeling. You have to leave here now. It's time for me to go.
Gotcha.
So I kept feeling it in my soul, and I'm like, well, where am I going to go? And then I sat down in meditation again, and all of a sudden, Birmingham, Alabama came in my mind.
Gotcha. So let's set back there. Y'all need to get this. This is powerful stuff. So you had no clue.
No clue.
Where you were going. You just knew you had to be out.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have family there? Did
Nope.
you have family there? Friends? Nothing? Okay.
No, I saw.
Because I saw on social media, I saw on social media that you were in Birmingham. I was like, I don't know who she knows there, but cool, whatever. But so you I didn't know that you just left.
Even when I moved to Rhode Island,
right?
Didn't know something.
But that was just off of just the guidance that you received. You're just like, I know I need to do this. That's what I need to do.
And I strongly believe in the power of meditation.
Yep.
And there's a particular meditation, it's called a 0-point meditation, where you're using your own personal vibrations.
Okay.
And it's just by simple hand claps. We don't realize how strong our energy is as a human being.
Right.
So it starts with a hand clap.
Gotcha.
And you allow yourself to feel that vibration.
Okay.
And as you're feeling that vibration, you think about those things that you want. You align yourself with what you want, not with what yesterday wanted.
Right.
Not with what you want.
So being in this present moment right now, what you need and want right now. Gotcha.
And I also had to learn the difference between need and want.
Yeah.
So that's really big. You have to know the difference between need and want.
Right.
And you can't have all that you want. Right. Align yourself up with your needs first.
Yes. And
then your wants will add themselves to you.
Right.
So that obligation process was a very transparent process to myself.
Right. Gotcha. So you're doing the meditation. You find out to move to Alabama. You got moving without any job, no nothing.
Nothing.
This is the real definition of walking out of faith.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, I thought that I did faith walking out of, but nah, this is the real definition.
Real deal.
So in Alabama, I know you're doing some stuff there. So what? I mean, and like I said, I don't want to take too much away from whatever you got going on with the book. But what kind of guided you back to Jacksonville? You're here now.
What got me back to Jacksonville is once I received the healing that I needed within myself. I thought about where I come from, and I thought about 2004 Princess. I thought about 19-year-old Princess. And I said, you know what? It's time for me to die.
Right.
Because there's other young ladies, other women that need to hear that you should live and not die. They need to hear the message of how, because especially as women, especially when you have a family, we tie ourselves to our family. Our family becomes our identity.
Right.
And that's not true.
Right.
It's an extension of who you are. Right. It's not who you are.
Right.
And a lot of times we confuse, we don't know who we are. We know we're called by a name, so we attach ourselves to that name.
Right.
But a name is just a part of you. It precedes you, but actually your character is the procedure.
Right.
So that was a real powerful area for me, that obligation process. So that's what led me back to Jacksonville. Because now, as a princess, I know who I am. I know what I have to offer, and I know that people are here to
Right. So, yeah, that's pretty amazing. So a real, this journey of self-awareness.
Yes, in all areas.
Right,
Yes.
right. And just to kind of go back to what you're saying, yeah, because I think it's huge. And I've talked about it before. I was talking with somebody before. Attaching yourself to something else, to a like a type. Because I know a lot of people. I did it for years, and what you're saying. A lot of people is you're that mom, you're that dad, you're that manager. You attach yourself to titles. You know what I mean, across the board, really, it's just titles. Yeah.
And then where are you in that title?
Right.
And I also started to notice, even as I started to awake, at work, my work performance was different.
Right.
The way that I approach situations were different at work.
And this is after you go into self-awareness.
Communication became different.
Right.
And I also noticed that my coworkers and supervisors, some of them took to it, but they were used to me being passively aggressive. Because you hide behind that.
Right.
You hide behind that. And I know I did definitely hide behind that. It was easier for me to attach myself to titles versus seeing myself in the world.
Right. So no, I got you.
It's tough.
Yeah, no, it's and I think that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to just take that hard look in the mirror. I'm looking here at Joe, but it's really me looking at myself in this. But a lot of people don't want to take that hard look in the mirror and they say, okay, this is who I am. The good, the bad, the ugly, the everything.
The men.
Yeah. And sometimes it's more beautiful than people realize. That's the other thing. That's the other side.
I mean, I tell you, with the way things are going right now, I asked God, I asked the universe to bring me to a place where I had a platform where I can share my story, where there was a community that could hear what I had to say. When the moment came, I was absolutely nervous.
Okay.
I was shook. I was like,
Right.
And then when it was all happening, it was very surreal. I was like, I wrote this down,
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm doing it. It was like riding a bicycle. Like, I'm doing it.
Yeah,
for the first time, It's like, no training wheels this time, It's amazing. I'm really happy about it. I'm very happy about it. And then the experiences the feedback that I'm getting back from the community and the women that are attending the conferences that are signed up with me as clients, the feedback I'm getting is like,
Right.
It further solidifies the fact that all people need is transparency.
Right. Yeah.
Just be your authentic self.
Right.
And I was happy to receive that feedback because now it lets me know you wasn't the type.
Right.
Yeah. Right. You were not the type.
Right.
You are the authentic self, and this is what people need to see.
Right. Just not to cut you off. Right. So I think that's kind of the other part, like you said, once you start getting self-awareness of who you are, just not being afraid to be who you are, to be 100% authentic with who you are.
And I love it. And so that's the other part of POW, that worthiness part.
Okay, there you go.
So once you get into being your authentic self, and you start to see yourself, then you start to understand your total worth, that you are of value.
That's another key point there. That's a tweetable moment.
Yeah, tweetable.
As Miss Oprah would say.
Yes.
But yeah, so say that one more time. Say that again.
So that worthiness part, it's very important because we hide. Okay, so now you've identified these obligations and things like that that are false.
Right.
Then you try to figure out, okay, so this is my real truth over here.
Right.
What do I do with all this? and why is this my reason? Why did I do that? You know,
Right.
so that it's very emotional. I was very emotional and very broken in those things because
Yeah, it breaks you down.
it breaks all me down. You know, but I was broken to build myself. I was broken to restore myself, and it was and I love it.
Yeah.
Because now I look around and I'm like, wow, I can really enjoy looking at the trees now.
Right.
I can identify with the tree now.
Right,
You know, I don't know
right.
about other people, but I identify with the
feel
life
you.
forms around me.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a different feeling.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like that my life here on earth is of value.
Yeah.
Because there was a time in my life where I did not feel valued. I did not want to feel valued. You know, it was very sad for me to get up in the morning. You know, so now I get up and I'm optimistic. You know, I feel like I'm worthy to be alive. You know, so it's very trying. Very trying, yeah. Very trying. But it's very liberating,
Yeah.
very rewarding. And
because you gotta like we've been talking about this whole time, you gotta literally strip away everything that you thought you were before, everything that you identified yourself with, and strip all that. It's almost like having a mask on, a really a lot of ladies with makeup or what have you, or for guys, you've grown a beard out for a long time and you get rid of that beard and you see your true self in the mirror.
I'm glad you said that. Man, look. So in this process, okay, you guys, I was very hoity-toity. I like my nails, I like my hair, I like my curls, I like this, I had to have this, I had to have that. When those things were stripped away, I couldn't wear a weave, I couldn't get my nails done, couldn't get the eyelashes. Oh man, who's that?
Yeah,
You know, I had to learn how to love myself
Right.
for myself.
Right.
You know,
With all that stripped away.
all that stripped
All
away.
that you thought you were identity.
Yeah.
Gone.
And all it is this is all the makeup, the hair, all that. To me, I'm gonna tell you something. This is how I look at it. This is my costume.
Gotcha.
This is my costume. You know, and we all like to play dress up.
Right.
You know, so this is my dress up, and I enjoy that moment as well.
Okay.
You know, but when I'm not like this or whatever, or like I will be later on today,
Right,
tonight,
right.
when I'm not like that, I still feel beautiful.
Right.
I still feel valued. I still feel worthy.
Right.
You know, I still feel like I have a purpose.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
That's one thing. When you figure that out, strip it down, find out that path you need to be on and that purpose, it kind of just. Things are, like you said, things are different, but that's also stripping away of the titles and really that ego. So, but things become different because other pieces in the puzzle start coming together. And it looks different.
And now I can have healthy friendships, healthy relationships. Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
You know.
Awesome. So let me just. If we could just step it down a little bit. So the first part of it, the first part is, just that self-awareness, and then you need to, strip down the titles and then realize that you're actually kind of worthy of being you.
Of being you. Isn't that something? Worthy of being you.
Right.
You know, and
Unapologetically.
And I love this era of unapologetic.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, I was taught that you had to.
All right. Well, we got the first part of it,
Yep.
but we back in here. The equipment decided what to do what it want to do. All right. So you said you wanted to climb trees.
When I was a kid, I wanted to climb trees.
Yeah.
I wanted to climb trees, and my mom kept putting me on these dresses and telling me girls can't climb trees because you got on the dress, and I was still climbing that Japanese palm tree on the side of my bed.
Oh man, yeah, the Japanese tough tree, yeah.
And I would sit up there and I would watch everybody do their thing. I just like to be at the top of the tree.
Right.
That was a very isolating moment for me. But I'm a people watcher.
Yeah.
I like to see people moving about their day. For some reason, it makes me happy. But it does. And she always get on me about climbing trees. So finally, one day I stopped climbing trees. Now I got to figure out what I'm doing on land.
Right. You're no longer in your element.
Yeah, I can't get out there. So I found myself roaming. I like nature trails.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I would get on the nature trail over in Jack Russell Park.
Okay.
That little nature trail right there. I would walk through the nature trail or whatever. Now I can't go through the nature trail because I'm too young, to be by myself, So it was always a lot of, you can't do it, you can't do it.
Don't do this,
And
can't do that.
yeah, don't do this.
Yeah.
So what do I do?
Right.
I do what you tell me to do.
You have to conform.
I do what you tell me to do. So that means I'm becoming who you want me to be.
Right. Right.
So where's my identity?
Right. Well, so I'm gonna take this real quick to one spot, and then we're gonna kind of wrap this up. But so you're definitely gonna be back on here again because there's a lot more. We've got a whole bunch to unpack that we didn't get into. But so with that being said, with the kind of that you're gonna do what I say, put upon you from that generation before us, and it came from obviously generation before that, back and back and back. What have you changed anything, especially going through this awareness and the way that you're raising your kids, or is there anything differently that you've done raising your kids? Okay.
So the good thing is my 21-year-old, she has a passion and I love it. And it's funny. I want her to do what I want her to do.
Right.
Because I see her potential.
Right.
But she's so liberated in her own lane. She's like, yeah, okay, Mom. And I love it, But I started to teach my children the law of attraction.
Okay. Yep.
So when we would have situations where there were disciplinaries, I would make them write down their thoughts.
Okay.
If you can't say it to me, write it down.
Right.
If you can't write it down, I would have my 4-year-old draw.
Right.
Draw it out, So I would teach them different ways of expressing themselves, getting the message out, communication. And Bob Proctor has this saying, if you can hold it in your hand,
right.
If you can hold it in your hand, you can hold it in your head.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I remember I would play this every morning. I would take the kids to school. I would play this particular message. And when my son came, I picked my son up from school one day. He's in elementary school, 5th grade. He said, Mom, all my friends heard that. If you can hold it in your hand, you can hold it in your hand. If you can hold it in your hand, you can hold it in your hand, or whatever. And so he was like, why you had that up so loud? I said, you know what, they'll never forget it.
Right. Right.
They will never forget it. It's a joke now, but they will never forget it.
But down the road, it's a seed planter.
And he's 15 years old now, and he's saying that right now.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And he says it with a smile.
Yeah.
But he's saying it.
Right.
And I just sit back and I laugh.
Gotcha.
So they're on the journey, and I, as a parent, I often have to remind myself that I cannot tell them what they can and cannot do.
Right.
My goal is to guide them. My job as a parent is to guide them.
Guidance, yeah.
Right.
I mean, and of course, we're not silly here.
Yeah.
If they're about to hurt themselves, it's like, no, you ain't gonna do that. But it comes to a point of if they've got to, if it's gonna be a situation where it's like, I get it.
I get it.
As far as don't do this, don't do that, as far as likes, dislikes, all that kind of stuff. Things they like to do. You want them to sit there and be quiet.
And think about it. I always tell them, what makes a man, whether it's a man or woman, is our ability to think.
Right.
Think
for yourself. Not through the glass, the rose, not rose-colored glasses, but the glasses of your parents.
That's right.
Yeah. Awesome. So the book you have is coming out next year. You have a roundabout date.
March 2019.
March 2019. So there you go. It's written here.
2020. March 2020.
Wait a minute. We the past.
Oh, it's December 2019.
Right. So March 2020.
Yes.
You're getting it right, y'all. So March 2020, the book's gonna should be coming out. And you got other little events and stuff that are coming out. I know that you got the event tonight, so this will be all up on YouTube way after that's already coming out. What do you have maybe coming up for the beginning of the year? What type of stuff are you working on for like January, February?
January 7th will be I will be in South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, with a friend of mine. We're going to Steel Wagon. Another one summit called I'm Her.
Awesome.
And then in February, on the 22nd, I'll be in College Park, Atlanta. At the College Park Housing Authority. We'll be doing another empowerment summit there at the Housing Authority.
Gotcha.
It's called 2026.
Okay. So those are things that you got coming up soon. If people want to kind of keep up with you, follow you on a regular basis, where should they go at, like social media, websites, what we looking at?
So on Facebook, I am Miss Titanium. On Twitter, I am Miss Titanium. And on Twitter, I'm also Miss Titanium as well.
So
yeah.
across the board, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, it's all gonna be linked below.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miss Titanium
Across the board.
All right, awesome. So any final thoughts or words or anything that you got for people out there, for the peoples
out
there?
One thing I would like to say: remember POW.
Okay.
You know, you were made worthy. You know, you are of value. You know, and the main thing is you shall live and not die.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, you know, like I said, final words for now, but you're gonna be on here again. We got a lot more to kind of unpack. Just the law of attraction, I can speak for an hour. We could talk for hours about that.
Oh, man.
Not, let alone, we didn't even really touch in the purpose and that kind of stuff, and how that found you, or how you found it, manifest, none of that stuff. So y'all be looking out for that.
Yes.
We'll do that soon. But that's all we got for you today.
Oh
man, that's it. It's a wrap. As always, y'all know where to find her. Y'all know to keep coming back here every Wednesday and Thursday. You're gonna have coffee grinds there, and you know, we'd love to see y'all on social media. So leave us some comments. Leave us whatever, you know, comments, nuggets that you got, some stuff that you want to talk about. Leave that down below. I love you. Namaste.
Namaste. Yes.